In this video, we're going through a step-by-step guide on how to build a free professional portfolio website on Canva. First things first. So I've created a structure on the steps that you need to be following. The first thing is you need to prepare a list of the website content or a structure. You have envisioned a specific format that you want to use, or you've seen it somewhere. So for me, I've just used ChatGPT to generate this sample structure here, which we are going to use. So I have the home as the first section, I have the about me as the second section, services, portfolio, and then we have a contact section. Number two, I need to go to a browser and search for canva.com. Assuming that you already have an account in this, it will be much easier. So once Canva loads, we're going to go to the home page. After Canva loads and with you logged in, you're going to go to the search section and search for website, and then you're going to be provided with templates. So I can just click on search for website. In this template option, you need to scroll through and look for what works best for you. So let's just scroll through. We can hover over this to see like how it's going to look like. We can take something like this that has different sections, or we can scroll down a bit. Now you should notice that some of these things are pro. So if you have a free account, you'll only have access to things like this, for instance, but we're going to just try and use something that appears more presentable. So let's say we pick this as our portfolio. I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to click on customize. Once this loads, now we start the most interesting part, which is building the website. Now we have only one page in this case, and we can begin or use it for the first part. Now remember that in my document here, the first part of the page was the home or the landing page, and the purpose is to make a strong first impression, introduce yourself clearly, and state what you do. So let's go. Let's click on what we have already picked here and edit this and say maybe your name. So I'm going to just use my first name in this case. And then if I have like a slogan, I can say something like undefeated. In my case, I usually have this as a simple slogan. If I have a logo, I'll maybe add it there, but now I do not have any logo that I'm going to use at this point. So I'm just going to use the default logo that is within this design. Now down here, I can just say maybe about me or home. Let's just call it home, or just type my name as well, or my position. So for practice purposes, let's just say my name again, but it doesn't make a lot of sense being that we already have this up here. So once we have this here, if I want to add text on this document, I just go to the text button on the left hand side and add text, and then I can type something there. You say, hey, hi, I am a professional marketer with 3 years experience. So remember that this can be whatever you want it to be, and you try to make it as appealing as it is, because it is the first thing that somebody sees whenever they open your website. So once you have this here, you can add more details here to explain what you have at the top. Now this all depends on the kind of structure that you choose. If you chose a structure that is different from this, you'll have already pre-created text boxes within the design, and then you just add text in it. Now if you want to add that, you just double click, add the text. You can increase the font size for it to be more visible. You can change the font to anything that appears maybe more visible to you, or whatever font type you choose, and then the first slide here, or the first page here, will be done. Now the next thing that you need to do is add another page. Once you've added another page here, you're going to go back to our document that we created and do the next section. Now in the next section, we had something like about me. So we are going to go here and add all details about me. So I'm going to just copy this here and paste it on that other side. So I'm just copying this from this up to this end. You always need to take your time with this, because it is something that is going to be representing you. So here I'm going to add a text box. Just add a simple text box on that and paste the text that I've taken from the other side and put it here. So you can opt to just have plain text, or have text on one side and some graphic. So if I opted to have text on one side, usually preferably should have your text on the left, because most people read from the left to the right. That's just as a market research. It's actually not an assumption. Once I have that, if I wanted to add an image on this side, I'm just going to go to my uploads to add my default photos. So if I want to add this here, I can take that to the side and remove the background. So expand it a little bit. I'm going to expand that, and I can opt to remove the background. Remember, and again, that background remover is a feature that is only available in Canva Pro. But there are free tools that you can use to remove image backgrounds. There is this tool key here called remove.pg. So you just come with your image, drag and drop it here, and remove that image background completely free. There may be like a compromise in the quality that you download with the free package, because they offer two different packages, the free and the paid. The paid, you have higher quality versions, but then it is still not as bad. Now once you've done that, you are done with the about section. If this is all you have, if you have any other things that you want to do, good, you can proceed and add it. If not, you're going to go to the next part, which is adding the third page. In the third page, we go back to our document again and look for the page that we had. So let's scroll down and look for the what section we needed to add here. So here we had services. Now this is usually one of the most important part, because it communicates what you're offering the client. So you can list the number of services that you offer, and it is also advisable that you list the things that you are sure you can do. Sometimes you can promise what you can offer, and that means you lose trust. So you're going to copy this here, what I offer. I'm just going to copy it as is, and then add it here. We'll deal with the CTS later. So for now, let's just copy this, come here and add it on our page. So we're just going to add another text box. So we add a text box here. I'm using the subheading version because I need the text to be slightly bigger, but you can always just take a little body text. So I'm going to drag this at the top and reduce the size a little bit so that all the text is visible. So you notice that when I paste this here, the formatting is a bit off. So you can always try to change the alignment of the text to do something like on the left, remove the extra bullet points, because when you paste it here, Canva assumes that these are list items, and it tries to like assign the dots to make sure that it is a list, they are list items. So I'll remove all this here, move that there too. Again, if you want to add images, you can just do it on the right, or you can alternate. That really makes it more presentable. So like in this case, I can opt to have the text on the right hand side and add images here. So I'm going to scroll down and go to photos, the Canva photos, and then I'm going to look for something like web development, for instance. So if I click web development, I can add an image there and resize it. So I can add this here at the top, resize it until it fits. So maybe if I want to accommodate like 3 images, I'm going to search for something else like social media. So I'm going to look for social media management, for instance. Then I can pick something like this and resize it. Remember, you can still remove the background of all these images here. So I'm going to resize that. I can come back here and add another image at the very bottom. So here I'm going to take something like Google Ads. Then I look for something that shows ads, like either this here, pay per click. Then I resize that and bring it to the bottom. So you can play around with this, have the right sizes, make sure that whatever you're trying to show is visible. So I'm going to do that here and reposition them so that they all fit here. So move that here and move this here. So because you'll be taking your time to do this, you'll have more time to maybe do this better than I have. So I have that as my services page. Now I'm going to add another page, another section, another page for another section. So fourth section here is the portfolio. Now this usually helps you showcase the real work, so people really like to see what you've done, because you cannot be promising to do something but you are not able to actually show where you have done it. So in this case, we just have a structure. You can even copy this and use it somewhere. So each project can include the client, brand name, you have platforms managed, objective, strategy, and visual samples, like things that you have done. So for me, for instance, I can go to my file profile here, add a page first. Then in this page, I'm just going to add a title, use text to add a title here, and have something like, so let's scroll back up and add a title and say, my work. Then I'll put it at the top. So I'll put it at the top. And then now in this my work section here, I want to add images of places that I've worked. So in my uploads, I already have some samples of my portfolio or things that I've done. So I have to just scroll down and find them. I think I've used them before. So you need to prepare this before starting the website creation process, so that you don't have to like take too long or use makeshift images or low quality images or items. It is preferable if you just use like screenshots, because they'll show the real work and they'll help you um, build trust with your client. So I'm trying to look for my uploads here to find the images detailing the work that I have done with clients before. So here I have this like for the sites. So this was for social media management. I can add that here, social media management. I can scroll down and look for something on ads or website SEO improvement. For instance, I have this here. I helped a client like improve website speed and general performance. I can add that there. So and resize it, make it slightly maybe the same size as this. So reduce that a little and resize or reposition it. Next, I'm going to still look for another. So this is a website I worked on, an e-commerce website. I can add it here and resize it too, and reposition it like that and resize it. Then once I'm done with this, I can add text detailing the client that I worked for. I can also like give us a small explanation. So just going to take a little bit of text here, and then I can say this site, and then drag it and drop it to the bottom. Make sure that the contrast between the text color and the background that you are using are that it is clear, so that there's that visibility. So if I double click on this and click on this, I can change the color to something visible, so I can have that as my main color. It is usually advisable to like have like a color scheme for the page or the website that you are creating. So for GSOL, I can add another text here and say maybe a managed social platform, managed social platform, and achieved A, B, and C. So that those are details that you're supposed to add. So I'm going to put that down here. Then change the color to white. I can duplicate this and use it to do the title of the next site. So this is a different site. I can say health talk, for instance, health talk. Do again, duplicate that and add it to the end. So you can do the same for all these others, and then you can proceed to the next step. So you do the same for the last part, or as many sites as you have here. If all your service or your portfolio does not fit in this, you can have another page and have like more of my work or something. Once you're done with that, you want to create one more page that will help the clients like reach out to us. So I'm going to add another page here, and then I can use a template. So remember, you can also go back to the top and look for templates. So in this case, I can go back up and look for like design, and then I can look for contact, because this usually has a better way of helping you present your data. So if I say pick something like this here, so let that load. That won't work. It wasn't quite visible. We need a contact page, so let's keep scrolling until we find something that can help us add contact details. So we want contact us, and then we scroll down and look for it. If let's say I pick this as the contact page, I'm going to click that, and then it's going to be inserted on my page here. So here I can either add my number, I can add anything, I can edit this to fit the system that I want. So in this case, I'm just going to say type there my name, make it simple, and then go to question. Then down here, instead of having this long explanatory text, I can edit this. Reduce the size of this, and then now I can add things like phone number and email address. So I'm going to add text subheading, then I can say phone. In the phone I can add just random numbers, but you're going to be adding your own number. So in this phone text box, just going to put a space and add. So I have that. I can expand this to the right so that it doesn't appear maybe that, and then I can add another and add something like an email address. Then I say test@mail.com. Drag it and drop it below this here. Now usually if you want this to be clickable for the email, you can just select it and add a link. In this link, you're simply going to type mail to, then you add your email address. You can say, in my case, 7@gmail.com. So if I add this here, done, it will be a link and it will be clickable. And this usually redirects to Gmail, for instance, if that's what you are using. So the contact page, you can do that. You can also add that on this side. On this, just click on this button here and add a link. Remember I talked about call to action when we were listing what we offer as per our list here. So let's go back up and look at the what we offer section. So there was a CTA or a call to action. Call to actions help the viewers of your page know how to reach out to you, interact with you, request for your service, or request for more information. So our CTA here was book free consultation. So we can add this as a link, or we can add it as a button. But if the link, or if the button makes your page appear a bit maybe shady or disorganized, you can just add the text and add a hyperlink. So I'm going to add a little text here, and then I can paste the call to action that I've copied from the other side. Let's change the font color to something blue. Let's click that and change that to something blue, for instance. We can try this here. So you have to highlight the text in this text box and change the color to that blue, and then now I can scroll it to, I can drag it to the bottom. So let's click that, drag it down here. Then again here we can add a contact. Like I said, just say mail to then your email address. Then you can just click on done. Then that will appear as a link when somebody clicks on it. Now if you want to add a button, you can just always search for elements here and just look for button. So we can just pick this rounded, or let's pick that. So it will appear on our document here, and then we can drag it and drop it here, resize it. We can change the color to something slightly more vibrant or visible, and then we can add text. Let's say we want to add text like call us. So we can say call us, and increase the font size so that it appears slightly more visible. We can bold it. We can highlight all this and bold it. Then it will be much visible. Now if you want to add a link to this, is same thing. I just click on the button and then I click on the chain link. I can always click on the chain link and uh, add a link on the item, or I can also take the text, do that. If I want to add a website, you can add www.ecom.com, so a link to my ecom website, and then done. So it will be linked, so somebody can click on it to call us or visit website. I'll show you how these links work when I preview this website. Now once you're done with building your website, there's one more thing that you need to be doing. A complete website deserves a navigation menu. Now if you notice, our pages here have no titles, and if you want to add a navigation menu where you can have at the top home, about, services, contact, and all that, it is very simple. Once you're done with the design, you can go to these pages here and change this to grid view. Now in the grid view, now you want to start adding the titles. For instance, I can call this the home, and then I can call this something like I edit that and type it is about. I can go to the third one and make it something like services. It may not reflect what we had on the other end, but it will work. Then here we can have portfolio, and finally we can have contact. Once you've done this, you can now just go back and close the grid view. Now, if we want to publish this website, you go to the top right hand side and tap publish. Here you can decide to change or edit the website URL or site address. If you click on the site address here, you can only edit the last end of it. The beginning of it must always contain the Canva URL because it is a free address. So you can decide to change this end here. So if I just want to remove this and just call it portfolio website, and maybe add something like my name, because at time you'll find that whatever you're using here has been used by someone else. You can also optionally have a new domain where you add like a custom domain. You buy a domain and then you link it here, and then you just host your website on Canva. Now if you're not published before, you just have the option to republish. So if you tap publish, in your case, if you're doing it for the first time, your design here will be published, and then you can proceed to the next step. So just give that a few maybe seconds, something like a minute or so, and then you have here website is live. And then now you notice that you have this canva.site. If you go to the very end here, I will wait for that to load a bit. If you go to the end, you'll notice that you have whatever I had added here. So this is the only part that you have control over. So if I tap view website, I'll be taken to the website where I can see exactly how my portfolio website looks like. Once the page loads, you notice that now we have whatever we had created before. So if we look at the first one that we created here, this is actually the main design. There are some portions of it that we did not edit, but you'll take your time with that. But first I want you to look at the navigation menu that you've created here. If I click on about, it will take me to the about section of my site and the image that I added. If I click on services, it will take me directly to the services and the images that we had added in our video before. If I click on portfolio, take me to my work, and if I click on contact, it will take me to the contact section. Now remember, we said that if you type mail to, then followed by a full colon and your address, this is supposed to link to the email system that you're using. We use Gmail, so if I click on this, it's supposed to take me to Gmail. You notice now it's telling me that I am sending an email. So assume that someone is visiting this site, they'll be directly linked to their mailing ad system, and then they can do the same. There was another portion I think that we did the same. Was it on services? There was a part where we added something like a call to action. Yes, here. So we had a book a free consultation and call us, both of them. This is linking to our website. So if I click on that, you see it goes to this site here, which might take a while to load. I don't think I have very good internet as at this point. But if you click on the other one that was linking to an email, still you'll be taken to that email system that we said before. So you'll be taken to Gmail. So I think that's all on how to do this your site on Canva. If you find the video helpful, you can like it, share it, subscribe to the channel for more tips, and also you can drop ideas in the comment section, things that I can help you with it, or how I can create further tutorials that will help you navigate the digital workspace.